The safety of equine athletes is again in the spotlight following accidents at last weekend's Rolex Kentucky 3-day event, and a new study indicates that a common treatment for EPM might also be helpful for preventing the disease. I'm Ryder, news editor of The Horse, your guide to equine healthcare. Welcome to the Ryder Report for April 30th. Last weekend's Rolex Kentucky 3-day event took a somber turn on Saturday when 2 horses were injured on cross-country and 1 rider hospitalized with severe injuries. Both horses were euthanized after veterinary evaluations determined the prognosis for recovery to be poor. Frodo Baggins, a thoroughbred from New Zealand, was euthanized after sustaining a skull fracture and serious lung injury after a rotational fall at fence 5 on course. The horse's rider, 24-year-old Lane Ashker, remains hospitalized with multiple broken ribs, a badly broken jaw, broken clavicle and scapula, and collapsed lungs. The Quiet Man, a 12-year-old Irish gelding ridden by Sarah Hansel, was also euthanized after fracturing his distal scapula and the shoulder joint of his right front leg. Hansel was not injured in the accident. Visit thehorse.com for much more on this year's Rolex Kentucky 3-day event, including a video interview with Dr. Duncan Peters discussing event horse safety and tactics to minimize injury to equine athletes. When it comes to EPM, an ounce of prevention might indeed be worth a pound of cure. Researchers with the University of Florida recently released a study indicating that panazeral, known commercially as Marquis, might prevent or reduce equine central nervous system invasion of Sarcocystis neurona and therefore decrease the chance of neurological disease. The researchers administered the drug to horses that had been experimentally administered S. neurona sporocytes. The researchers first identified antibodies to S. neurona in the horse's blood 56 days after exposure. Antibodies were identified in the cerebrospinal fluid in only 2 out of 5 of the horses treated every 7 days with the drug. In contrast, all of the horses that were exposed to the parasite but received no treatment developed antibodies within 84 days of exposure. Research is ongoing to further evaluate the clinical use of panazeral in horses to prevent EPM. For more information, see Article 11747 on thehorse.com. If you lead a horse to water, you might not be able to make him drink, but it's still a great way to gauge whether he needs that water or not, according to recent British research examining working horses and dehydration levels. This study indicated that the commonly used skin tent test, in which the horse's handler pinches up a section of skin to note the time it takes to return to his normal position, can vary greatly according to the horse's age, the humidity of the coat, and the site of the skin tested. They concluded that the skin tent test has no significant connection with the actual state of hydration in the horse. They concluded that offering a horse water frequently is really the only reliable test as to whether the animal needs to be hydrated, noting that the horse that drinks when offered is an animal that needs to be hydrated. For this week's Happy News of the Week, we have an update on everyone's favorite geriatric equine athlete. We first introduced our readers to competitive trail horse Elmer Bandit earlier this month as he was celebrating his 37th birthday. While Elmer hit the road again last weekend to complete his first competitive trail ride of the 2008 season. Horses in the open division of competitive trail events cover around 60 miles over the course of 2 days. Veterinarians evaluate horses several times a day and allow the horse to continue only if the heart and respiration rates are within set parameters. Soundness and metabolic criteria must also be met. Elmer and lifetime owner Mary Anna Wood of Independence, Missouri hit the trails near Topeka, Kansas Saturday and Sunday. Elmer arrived in time and walked to the finish point with ears pricked forward. After timing in, he took a nap before being declared sound in the final vetting out procedure. Elmer's lifetime competitive trail mileage now stands at 20,300 miles. That's 410 miles short of the current lifetime record, but Mary Anna says she's not chasing any records with the old man. She's planning to enter about 8 rides this year, depending on scheduling and Elmer's health. To read more about Elmer, do a keyword search for Elmer Bandit on thehorse.com. That's it for this week's Ryder Report. Visit thehorse.com for all the latest news on equine healthcare, management, and welfare. I'm Ryder, news editor of The Horse, your guide to equine healthcare. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.